Good morning, everyone. I believe it's Thursday, but it's July 23rd, 2026, and it's a 4-day, which, when I look at what the 100 means, it's just, it just, to me, has synchronicities. So it's the 4 phases of the moon, it's the 4 corners of the earth, the north, south, east, west. It's universal creation. It's the 4 seasons. It's the created order of the earth that God created. Isn't that fascinating? When you look at things and see how they all line up, it's not just, oh yeah, we got 4 seasons. Oh yeah, there's north, south, east, west. It's when you start thinking about it and linking it. It just makes life so much more rich, to me anyway. But yeah, so it's my 100th video. Woohoo! If I knew how to do anything spectacular, I would throw confetti up or something, but I don't know any of that. I'm just doing these videos, but it is fascinating. I can't believe it's 100. So it's completeness, fullness, and divine abundance. Yeah, that's crazy. And 100 also was when Abraham had Isaac. When Isaac was born, and that's in Genesis 21:5. And it's an abundant reward. It's in Matthew chapter 19, verse 29, where Jesus states, "Those that leave behind their earthly possessions or family for his name's sake will receive 100-fold return and inherit life." So isn't that fascinating? I feel like I left all my earthly possessions, but I can't really say it was for him, but it was because of him. Because I did put my life in his hands, and this is where it took me. I just completely surrendered and said, whatever happens, happens. It's what God wanted for me. And yeah, I'm not upset about it at all. Which is disturbing to a lot of people in my life. Like I said, my one daughter feels like I've given up. I haven't given up. It's just what's meant for me hasn't come yet. And that's Jesus. Which is insane, because on this whole journey, I didn't even know any of that. And I felt something was coming. I thought like I was gonna, like win the lottery, or because I was playing the lottery. I don't do that anymore. That's, yeah. I was thinking, because what I wanted to do was to win lots of money, just, to, first of all, to have stability for myself. But it was more so because of my big ambitions in life. I wanted to help others. I wanted to, like, going through my divorces, I realized how many, oh God, oh, I'm gonna tear up, because my last divorce was so stressful, and it how many years did it take me? It took me 6 years to get divorced. And I was living in hell. I will say I was living in hell. And that was my biggest, I want to say, what's the word I want to use? I learned the most from that one. My first, well, first of all, I'll tell you a little history on me. My first I will admit this, I was not in love with either one of them. I repented for that. Because when my first marriage, um, I married because I wanted to get married. He was abusive to me before we got married, and I still married him. Oh my gosh. And I knew on the way to get married that I shouldn't marry him, but I I still did it. I laugh about it now because it was something for me to learn from. But yeah, I thank God for landlines, because he was gonna shoot me. Yeah, and my two oldest daughters, they were 3 and 4 at the time, and I was already planning on leaving him, but I was mapping out in my mind when it was going to be physically possible to do that. But things happened that didn't allow that to go the way that I was planning it. But thank God for landlines, because I called 911 when he went to go, he was going to get a shotgun. Oh my gosh. And I called 911, and when he saw that I was on the phone, he ran up the stairs and kicked the phone out of my hand. But since it was a landline, it didn't disconnect or anything. So the police came, and he was just beating me up when the police came. And what's crazy, when I told the police that he was going to go get a gun and where it was, and they didn't care. They just said, oh yeah, it's just best for you guys not to be together for the night. Yeah, this is, what year was that? It was 2000. And yeah, the turning point. Yeah, there you go. Well, it's a turning point for me. And yeah, so I knew I could never go back to him. There's so much to the story, but I don't want to give you my drama. But yeah, so I was able to flee the state, and yeah, I was petrified. I was just so petrified. Yeah. And my oldest, she said she remembers that, you know, she remembers it. Yeah, I think that's a lot of her trauma that she has in her life. And then of course I blame myself for the traumas that I inflicted onto my children because of my choices. But you know what? Everything has a reason. And yeah. So I don't even know why I got onto this story, but I probably will delete this. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't even know why I started telling you that story. I guess I needed to share that. I don't know. But yeah, so it's yeah, I really, why did I even get onto that? I guess I'll listen back and figure it out. I don't know. But let's get back to the video on my 100, because that was crazy. I just really went off on a tangent on there. Woo! So, yeah, and then it's the value of the individual, which is, oh, I didn't put it, what, but it's the 100 sheet, when it talks about the 100 sheet, which we talked about the 99. yesterday, and I really didn't explain what the 99 was, but you know, it's where he there's 100 sheep and he leaves the 99 behind to go get the one sheep that went astray, to bring them to him. The 99 were just fine. He wanted the one that didn't know him. And it's a spiritual symbolism of 10 times 10 amplified. The biblical meaning of 10, which represents law and completeness. It's a symbol of ultimate divine fullness. And in Greek strong, it's abundant, generous, generous gifts. In 2 Corinthians, and I found this fascinating because 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 20, and when you look at that, if you add 8 and 2, that's 10, and then you got the 0, and that's 100, and that's my 100th video, and that is things I notice. I just, yeah, I really, you know, like my friend said, you really, like, think deeply into, and I'm like, yeah, I do think deeply, and that's why a lot of people don't relate to me, which is okay. I'm completely fine with that, but it is kind of a, I can't say it's lonely. It's really a solo life, which I have to admit, I chickened out yesterday. My stalker friend, I was watching a video and I was just so engulfed in it. Well, it wasn't really a video, it was a YouTube short. It was a waitress and yeah, it was waitress, and these guys were gifting her, they ended up gifting her $2,000. She was a single mom of 5 children, and I think it was her 16-year-old daughter that put her into some type of, I guess, like a raffle type thing. I don't know, where I'm sure you've seen these where, like, people, like, gift money to others. It might be like a TikTok thing, I don't know, but like, a lot of times my daughters will say, yeah, Ma, I already saw that, that's old. Because they're on TikTok, and I guess a lot of the stuff on YouTube shorts is TikToks. I'm like, oh, well, sorry, I just thought that was great. But yeah, so they gifted her $2,000. One guy gave her $1,000, and his friend, I guess a friend, he said they've been friends for like 30 years, and he was to match him, and so he gave her $1,000. And so I was watching that video, and I was just so, because all of a sudden I heard the music really loud that was in the song or in the video, and it was Upside Down, and I'm like, wow, how relevant that song is playing in this. It was like almost like a diner type thing that she was working in, and I'm like, yeah, her life just got turned upside down. You A lot of the songs give you messages, and it's not the original meaning of the song, but her world just really got flipped upside down, and it was because of him. And it's actually like a love song, but it yeah, I just found that fascinating. And as I was like, I'm like, people, pay attention, God's giving you messages. And then I'm like, Jesus is coming. I can't believe I even do that. When I think about what I do now and what my life was like before, I'm like, wow, my world has been turned upside down, and going the opposite direction, which is for the better. But yeah, so I look up from that, and my stalker friend is parked, and when I say he's parked, there's like no cars in between us. It's like parking, where no one really parks. And he was parked 4 spots in between me and him, and he had his motorcycle this time. He came on his motorcycle. Um, and when I looked, I'm like, oh my goodness. He had his back to me, so he didn't know I noticed him, because I think he didn't think I knew he was there. And because I told my friend, I said, I think I'm going to say something to him. She's like, well, maybe that's what he's waiting for. But I don't know. I am pretty outgoing, but that's just, I don't know, that's a little too much for me. I don't know. I probably would have said hi or something, but being that his back was turned to me at the time when I noticed him, I just like went back to doing what I was doing. But yeah, I guess this is gonna be a long video. Hope you don't mind. But yeah, I have some fascinating little stories for you, I guess, for my 100th celebration. Enjoy the party. Sorry, didn't bring refreshments or anything, so you'll have to get your own. You could pause it and go get something, I guess. But yeah. And then so, oh my gosh, I'm getting off on tangents today. My goodness. And then in Hebrews, Strong's, it's Reed, Bulrush, and something of low status. I'm like, I like the abundance and the generous gifts better. I'll take the Greek. I'll take the Greek interpretation today. And then I wanted to say I caught myself laughing. Which people would probably say, what the heck are you laughing about that for? And I'm like, because it's so absurd, it's laughable. So I was watching the YouTube was called Strength Ministries, and they have this like panel of people on there, and the main, I guess the main guy, his name is Mark, and he's hysterical. He's got really a great sense of humor. I like that. I love people with a sense of humor. But like his video, I think he did before this most recent one, it was hysterical. He's just so funny. But he's got this one guy on there, and he like gives like the like news events of what's going on and stuff. And so he was talking about, I was kind of like half like going to sleep or something when I was listening, and so maybe that's why it was even more funny to me, because I was like in a delirious state. I don't know, but he was talking about like bad things that are happening, and then Mark's like, oh good, okay, so we're just waiting for this to happen and then we're gone, thank you Jesus. And I just started laughing. I'm like, that is just so crazy to think that we're waiting for bad things to happen so we can leave. I'm just, I don't know. I find that to be hysterical when other people are like, why are you waiting for all this bad stuff to happen? And we're thinking, oh, because Jesus is coming. We're out of here. I don't know. Maybe it's just me thinks that stuff is funny. But, so I'm going to read Psalm 100. And, oh my goodness, Psalm 100. Sorry, it's like 20-minute video. But Psalm 100 is short. Psalm 100, give grateful, joyful praise to God. And it's to serve the Lord with gladness and enter his gates with thanksgiving. And yes, thank you, Lord. Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. So with that, I will end. And thank you for listening. And yeah, hopefully praising the Lord. Today is the day, because any second can be the moment. So I love you, and have a great day. Bye.